All right, guys, here we are. This is Puckin Around. I'm CodyPucks. I'm sure you've seen me around. Maybe not, but here I am. I'm not going anywhere. Never done anything like this before. Not nervy, but just don't want to say a lot. I've been on podcasts before and I can't listen to them. Feel like I might have a bit of a nerdy voice. I think everybody thinks that about themselves. Anyway, so the point of this podcast, YouTube, Twitter, not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, is just to get familiar with every team. I watch a lot of hockey, and I always like getting the perspective of fans that watch their teams and know what's going on about their teams. 32 teams is a lot to keep track of. I watch a lot of hockey, a lot. And I'm sure my girlfriend can attest to that. But it's hard for me to keep track of every team. So I thought it would be cool to bring fans on from every team and kind of just talk to them, go through what happened last year, go through what their expectations are for this coming up year, and most importantly, get to know the players a little bit more, because if you follow me, if you've seen me, I like me some player props. That started, so I've been in the game for 1.5 years now, right when betting was legal in Ohio, and not a big deal, plus 13 units in my when I got called up to the big leagues my first year. And then my rookie year campaign was last year. We went 132 and 130 plus 15 units. We don't do units here, but I think that's important. A couple rules that I do. I don't take anything over minus 140 odds, and I play a lot of plus odds. Those ones feel good to me. So that's kind of what I like to dial in on, is players, and because I think there's a lot of value there. When I used to drive to Indiana and sit in Shelton's Fireworks parking lot, open up my app, and just go through, all of the shit. The players, the teams, the overs, the unders, the everything. And I started betting on it, and a lot. I think there's just simply a lot of value in hockey, and I'm not sure that Vegas has caught on to that yet, because you'll watch a basketball game, a football game, football Sundays. I'll bet on some football, that's for sure. But they're so good. Vegas is so good at dialing in those lines. If it's 2.5, it'll be a field goal as time expires. If it's 9.5, it'll be a garbage touchdown. They'll go for 2, make it 9. Hockey is a little bit different, and that's kind of been my niche, and that will continue to be my niche until I lose, which is never. No jinx. So how these things are going to go is I'll bring somebody on. We'll talk about their team, and hopefully you guys can learn about their team, and it'll pass time until that first football Sunday or Saturday in early September. We got a lot of time to pass till then. So hopefully I can bring you guys some information and also some humor. I like to have fun. So first episode, it's introducing me, CodyPucks. I had to go big today. If you're watching on whatever I put this on, if I can figure that out, I had to go big with my Senators gear, the old school bucket that will be retired for next year. Let's talk some Sens. So when we do these team analysis and everything, I'm going to make sure to tell every guy, you got to be honest, because if people are listening to this and you throw out some bullshit, Green light from me, you can shred this person. You can tell them they're wrong. You can tell me I'm wrong about my Sens. But I've been watching the Senators team for, I'd say, 10 years very closely. So I will give you guys an honest opinion of everything Sens. So last year, Ottawa Senators. Nobody likes the Senators. Nobody cares about the Senators because they kind of have the same identity every year. They're a fun team. They score goals, but they give up goals. So it's fun for an over team, but as a fan, I dream of sitting on my couch, buckling my seatbelt, and willing this team to win a Stanley Cup one day. I'm from Cincinnati. I have 0 championships. So first championship I get, that's a tattoo. I feel good about the Senators. Feel good about the Bengals. But it's just getting there. And it's a long season. It's a long grind. I feel like I'm rambling. I haven't done this before. Here we go. Ottawa Senators last year. They were 7th in the Atlantic. So, whatever. I'm not a big stats guy, but they're out there. So we're going to use them. Let's go over the Senators team. If you are not a Senators fan, I would say that you know about Brady Tkachuk, which is the jersey that I'm wearing. So here is my opinion on Brady Tkachuk. Very good playoff player, if he could ever make it there. He has 0 postseason appearances. So we have to get Brady Tkachuk to the postseason. And I'm telling you guys, if we can will this Senators team to the postseason, watch what they do. I'm being so serious about that. Brady Tkachuk needs to stay out of the penalty box. He needs to quit getting kicked out of games. I like his aggressive nature. He sets the tone, but led the team last year, 74 more penalty minutes than anybody else on the team. You can't make much of an impact if you're in the penalty box. You can't make much of an impact if you get kicked out of the game. Stay in the game, Brady. It's annoying to me, to be honest. It's annoying to me. I understand that he is a very important player, but if he's going to take this team to the next level, he can't be on the sidelines. Tim Stützle, second best player on the team, most talented player on the team, for sure. I think he had 90 points 2 years ago, only 70 last year, only 18 goals. I think he had 39 the year before. I believe this is his this is his 3rd or 4th year in the NHL. Too much dancing from Tim Stützle. These guys that I like to bet points for, Brady Tkachuk's always at 1.5. Tim Stützle's always at 1.5. That's the value you're going to get with those guys. So I don't really touch guys like that. I do like to play over 1.5 points for certain players, but when you can get a Kucherov at plus 120 and a Stützle at plus 150, it just doesn't make any sense. So, and that kind of goes into these lines that I like to take advantage of. As you go further down the lineup, this is what's most important about every team, is these guys that look at their ice time, these guys that play a lot of ice time, and they're just out there. They're just out there to accidentally run into that second hockey assist. One of my favorite things. There is no other feeling like it can be 5 minutes into the game. It can be with 5 minutes remaining in the third period with the goalie pulled. When your boy throws one up the boards, another guy on the team gets it, pass it across goal, Bang. That's all it takes. Drake Batherson. He's a good player, guys. He's a really good player for the Senators. I think he's a younger guy, but 66 points last year. You'll find him minus 115 in certain situations. You'll find him plus 120 in certain situations, depending on who they're playing, how the season's going. But I sit there and I watch this kid, and he scores goals, and he plays the power play. So that's another thing that I look into is power play. Not necessarily everything into that, but it is good if you play a lot of ice time and you're also on the first power play, because, like I said, the idea is not necessarily to, get every one of these point getters or these goal scorers. I'll take goal scorers every once in a while. It's not to get it to a T. It's they accidentally run into them more than you would ever imagine. So I'm sure as we get further along and dial down on these players, I mean, you'll start to see a trend. I like these players that simply play a lot of ice time. If you're on the first power play, great, but you got to be out there to contribute and accidentally run into one. See what happens. Moving along. Senators got guys like Claude Giroux. They brought in David Perron from the Red Wings. A couple of veterans that Perron has won up, I believe, with the Blues. Giroux, don't think he has a cup, but he had a hell of a year last year. Maybe a little fall off expected, but dude's a stud, and he's a great locker room guy. If I'm looking at a goal scorer against, I don't know, some shit piece team, I'm looking at Claude Giroux. You can get him at a great value. And I guess that leads me into my strategy entering into the year. We are going to identify these 6.5 lines that are juiced. Minus 140, minus 150. They'll be minus 160, and then they'll move them to 7. You look at the slate, you find those games, and then you click the points, and you find players. I'm telling you, I've done it for 1.5 years. It works. It works if you know who the sleepers are. You watch the game, you watch them rip around the ice, and you see them on the ice a lot. So Claude Giroux, David Perron's going to contribute a lot for the Senators this year. Pinto, loved Pinto coming back. Pinto parlays. Got suspended half of the year last year for making bets. He's cleaned up. I talked to him personally. Josh Norris got hurt last year. He's a player. Pinto's better than Norris, though. I'll tell you guys that much. Pinto, you'll find Pinto you'll find him plus 120 every game to get a point. So Pinto in 41 games last year, 27 points. I don't know what that average is. I am a math guy. Can't do that. Almost a point a game is what I'll call it. When it rains, it pours with Pinty. We got further down, we got Ridley Gregg. I mean, these guys, these other forwards, I wouldn't put much stock into them. They don't even offer them points too often. But this Michael Amadio guy, I think we got him from the Vegas Golden Knights. He should contribute a little. The defensive unit for the Senators is very good. Sanderson's on a contract like 8 years, $64 million. He's getting like 8 and some change every year. Young gunner. He's good. He needs to shoot the puck more. Jake Sanderson to get a point this year. I really like that. He's playing with Zub or Shabbat. two very good guys. Shabbat's getting paid way too much. All these defenders just need to shoot the puck for the Senators. So they got this Nick Jensen guy. We traded away Chychrun, who I think that Jacob Chychrun is really good. And I could be very wrong about all these players I give opinions for throughout this series. But I'm telling you right now, Jacob Chychrun will be very good for the Capitals. We traded him for this Nick Jensen guy. Never heard of him. Hopefully he's good. But it leads me to the most important player on this team and why we will make the playoffs this year. By we, I mean the Ottawa Senators. It's Ullmark in goal. We have Ullmark. We have a goalie for once. Every year, I can't say it much. I can't say it enough. I tell my friends, believe in the Senators. Watch them. Believe in them. They'll be down 2-0 heading into the third. Bang, bang, 2-2. Now, what happens is the goalie lets up goals late, and you're going to hit a lot of overs for Mr. Ice doing that. You're not going to win a lot of hockey games doing that. So I think that Linus Ullmark is a tremendous addition to this team, and I really am excited about this year for the Senators. Like I said, I give full discretion always. You guys can shred me if the Senators suck. I'll take it on the chin. But if I had an honest opinion, I would say that the Senators are probably going to make the playoffs. Not sure how, but they will. No jinx. And they're going to win a series in the playoffs. So I'm laughing because I know I'm going to be right. And I know how fun it will be to get everybody as a fan of just hockey and playoff hockey, the best playoffs in sports, behind my team and watch them work and watch Ullmark. If you see me on video, I was just making some glove hand saves. Ullmark is the key to this team. If he needs rest, get him extra Gatorade that night because he can't rest much. But I feel good about the Senators this year. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the first episode. They're only going to get better, I hope. And can't wait to talk to more guests and get to hear what's going on around the league. Love you guys.